My Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori Olatukumbo Kekereku GCON plus plus. My Lords, Your Excellencies, our distinguished guests, I wish to apologize for any breach of protocol. In line with international best practice, I would like to appeal that we deem protocol all duly observed. Please nod if you agree with me. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to offer a heartfelt welcome to this distinguished gathering of colleagues, judicial luminaries, and stakeholders convened for the 2024 Annual Conference of the Court of Appeal. I do this with profound gratitude to God Almighty. I must express gratitude to His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for providing us with a conducive working environment. It is my esteemed privilege to extend a warm and respectful welcome to the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereku GCON. My Lord's inaugural visit to the family court since assuming the exalted office of the Chief Justice is historic, and we are honored. On behalf of the justices, the entire staff of the Court of Appeal, and my humble self, I reiterate our heartfelt felicitations on your well-deserved appointment as the 23rd Chief Justice of Nigeria. A warm and respectful welcome is extended to all our esteemed stakeholders in Nigeria's justice system, distinguished guests present, and those represented. Your Excellencies, Prince Lateef Olasunkomi Fagbemi, SAN, the Honorable the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, the Chief Law Officer of the Federation, our Chief Landlord, His Excellency Ezonwa Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Dave Nweze Umahi, the Honorable Minister of Works, distinguished Senator Ade Gwamire Adeni Ayodele SAN, Chairman, Senate Committee on the Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, and Honorable Mahmoud Abdullahi, Chairman, House Committee on the Judiciary, among several others who are going to talk to us today and through the week. The Court of Appeal's jurisdictional framework is always enriched by the collective knowledge and expertise of its justices, who harness their individual and shared experiences to inform the discharge of their onerous duties. This conference is structured in line with the needs of the Court of Appeal in particular. As we are assembled here today, we acknowledge the profound responsibilities associated with our roles in the justice system. The ever-evolving nature of our landscape demands that we engage in regular self-reflection, evaluation, and strategic planning. This conference offers a unique opportunity for introspection, knowledge sharing, and growth among stakeholders. We are deeply grateful for the participation of our distinguished resource persons whose expertise and experiential knowledge will undoubtedly enrich our deliberations. Justices occupy a position of paramount importance in the administration of justice, and with their decisions exerting a profound impact on individuals, communities, and society at large. Nevertheless, despite our expertise and experience, we are not immune to the limitations inherent in human decision making, including errors, biases, and prejudices. To address these limitations and ensure the delivery of justice, judicial introspection offers a mechanism for self-reflection, in-depth analysis, and ongoing improvement, particularly as we hear from those who have been relating with us. The emergence of social media has profoundly transformed the dynamics of interpersonal interaction, communication, and information dissemination, yielding significant improvements in the efficacy and scope of human connection. Nevertheless, this technological shift has also generated a range of challenges for the judiciary, including the management of online reputation, cyberbullying, and harassment. The preservation of the integrity of digital evidence in the context of legal proceedings is now a thing of concern. To effectively navigate these complexities, it is only appropriate for the judiciary to engage in a process of regular intellectual upliftment, a regular examination of existing practices, procedures, and policies to ensure their efficiency, efficacy, and fairness in the digital age is therefore imperative. The increasing integration of artificial intelligence, AI, within the judiciary has the potential to revolutionize the administration of justice, enhancing efficiency, improving decision-making, and expanding access to justice. However, the employment of AI in judicial contexts also raises profound questions regarding bias, transparency, and accountability. To address these issues, the judiciary must carefully examine its own utilization of AI and ensure that adoption is an adjudicatory, adopt the AI as an adjudicatory tool and not a replacement of the judge. As we aspire to enhance the administration of justice, we recognize the importance of collaboration and synergy among stakeholders. This conference boasts an array of knowledgeable and experienced professionals. The depth and breadth of our chosen topics underscore the significance of this gathering as a platform for meaningful dialogue. Through interdisciplinary lens, this conference will address the issues at hand by integrating theoretical perspectives, practical applications, and experiential insights to foster a rich, informed deliberation with a productive outcome. I would like to extend my sincerest appreciation to our distinguished keynote speaker, Chief Kanu Agabi SAN, a renowned and highly respected legal luminary whose illustrious career spans an impressive 52 years of legal advocacy and dedicated service across multiple disciplines. Sir, your presence and participation will be a seminal contribution We profoundly appreciate your precious insights. I would also like to extend my sincere welcome to the presenters of papers, chairmen of sessions, and discussants, who will all contribute meaningfully to the intellectual rigor and depth of our conference. Our collective efforts will create a rich and stimulating environment, fostering a spirit of collaboration and knowledge sharing among our participants. We are appreciative of the members of the press whose contribution in accurate reporting will provide a platform for our deliberations to reach a broader audience. I extend heartfelt accolades to Professor Kekong Bisong and his team, whose visionary leadership and technical expertise as consultant for this conference is inestimable. Once more, I humbly welcome you all. May our deliberations be fruitful, inspiring, and productive. And may the Lord God Almighty bless and protect us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my Lord, the Honorable President, for the welcome address. We also have in our midst today, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, CFR, former Speaker, House of Representatives. You're welcome, sir. We have also Ajiana Mende, who is the Chair, Federal Judiciary Tenders Board. You're welcome, ma'am. Usman Dauda Neva is the Director of Legal Services of the DSS. He is here representing the Director General of the Department of State Security, the DSS. You're welcome, Usman Neva. While my Lord was delivering the welcome remarks, the Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Oluka, just stepped in. You're welcome, Mr. Chairman. My Lords, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, the Court of Appeal, we've invited various stakeholders to join us in this celebration today. And many of them will be presenting goodwill messages. But to kickstart this series of goodwill messages, we have in our midst today an eminent personality, the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Chief Kanu Agabi, CON SAN, who will very shortly be presenting the keynote address. Chief Kanu Agabi, CON SAN, is a revered legal luminary and distinguished senior advocate of Nigeria. He has served twice as the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, as well as one-time Minister of Solid Minerals Resources. Chief Kanu Agabi is the founder and principal partner of Kanu Agabi and Associates. His resume is quite long. And it is captured at page 6 of the program, copies of which have been circulated to all of you. My Lord the CJN, please may you kindly deem this resume as read. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. My Lord the CJN, my Lord the President of the Court of Appeal, let me follow the good example the President set when she said we should follow best international practices and just say all protocols observed. May the Lord bless you all. I thank you for the privilege of addressing this annual end-of-year conference of the Court of Appeal. To be called upon by your lordships to deliver this keynote address is a privilege never to be forgotten. It is from you, judges, that we draw our inspiration. Your pronouncements are law. I therefore cherish this privilege which enables me, in however small a way, to offer you words of consolation at a time when the judiciary is grossly misunderstood and maligned by those who do not know you well enough. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your sacrifices. Forgive our ingratitude. Thank you. Forgive us when we make conditional our duty of gratitude to you. As far as I am concerned, our duty of gratitude to the judiciary is unqualified. You served the nation at a difficult time. The nation has never needed your services more than it does now. And yet, some of us have never been more ungrateful to you than we are now. It is a time such as this that our Lord Jesus Christ had in mind when he enjoined men and women, such as yourselves, not to despair of doing good. As a body, you have every reason to be proud of yourselves. Our judges are the equals, even the superiors of the judges of other nations. Had it not been for the courage and competence of our judges, had it not been for their dedication and sacrifices, this nation would long since have perished. For your services to the nation, many of you have nothing to show but your poverty. Do as Socrates did. Offer your poverty as the proof of your patriotism. You judges pay a high price for the work that you do. You sacrifice self. You sacrifice family. You sacrifice friends. All your time and life is taken up with our anxieties and sorrows. You think about our evils. You read about our evils. You write about them. You adjudicate over them. Unless you are very fortunate indeed, this preoccupation with our anxieties and sorrows slowly and imperceptibly hardens you, dehumanizes you, and diminishes you. Concerning the effect of your work on you, the great Russian writer Anton Chekhov said, I'm not going to worry about quoting him. Let me go on, I have only a few minutes. Expressing precisely the same views, Marcus Tullius Cicero, reputed to be one of the greatest lawyers in history, in the course of his defense of Sextus Roscius of Ameria, said, let me quote him. It's rather brief. By familiarizing us with evil in all its forms, it has stifled the sentiments of pity in the hearts of a hitherto merciful people. For when hour by hour we never cease seeing or hearing about some appalling deed, the constant repetition of horrors drains even the gentlest natures of every feeling of humanity. And so, it is unfortunate that instead of taking steps to minimize the negative impact of the pressures that we put on you, some of us have made a hobby of condemning you judges. You are said to be immune from prosecution, but your immunity has been taken away by the social media. The social media is the platform for attacking judges now. Allegations are first made in the social media to the world at large before complaints before complainants think fit, if at all, to refer matters to the National Judicial Council. The public and the press pass judgment on these allegations, and all that the complainants appear to require from the National Judicial Council is to rubber stamp those conclusions and punish the judges. Even when a complaint against the judge is dismissed as frivolous, the judge stands scandalized and distressed. I'm happy that the CJN is here. And let me say that the National Judicial Council is not a body for prosecuting judges. It should be a body for defending judges. And some of the frivolous applications that judges are called upon to defend. Why? There should be a mechanism for dismissing frivolous applications before they see the light of day. The judiciary needs all the support and encouragement we can give her. As I said before, our duty in that regard is unqualified. This is no time to proclaim the weaknesses of the judiciary. Whatever others may say of the judiciary, it is our duty to defend her and to protect her. Our respect for the judiciary should in no way be undermined by the mistakes that some judges have made or are still making. Let others feel free to scandalize the judiciary. Our duty is to exalt her. Our judiciary ought not to be treated as that stone that the builders rejected, but afterwards put it in its proper place. She is not just one of the arms of government, she is the preeminent one. And I'm happy to make this speech in the presence of our Attorney General, Lateef Fagbemi, a courageous, intelligent, and dedicated person. You spent all your life in this profession, and so you know the judiciary very well. Become the ally of the National Judicial Council to protect the judges. For over 30 years, the military maintained law and order using their own machinery. They ousted the jurisdiction of the courts whenever they found it expedient to do so. As a result, the institutions for the maintenance of law and order and the dispensation of justice were neglected. Today, both the police and the judiciary are struggling to recover from the effects of many years of neglect. Some progress has been made in our attempts at rehabilitating these institutions, but it will take some time before they recover fully or substantially. While they are struggling to do so, it is our duty to be sympathetic in our judgment of them and not to continue to heap temptations on them or disparage them, as some of us have been doing for a long time now. It is we who tempt the judges. It is we who blame them when some of them succumb. The judiciary is the offspring of the society, and no one should be surprised if it happens to resemble its parents. We are all witnesses to the dominant role played by money in our politics. Wealth has been used and continues to be used to acquire power, and after that, to acquire more wealth, and with it, to corrupt whatever is susceptible to being corrupted. Many years ago, I had the opportunity to address the police. At that time, the police were being disparaged, just as you judges are being disparaged now. And I said to them, if we are going to bring our policemen from heaven, we will have to bring our legislators from there too. We will have to bring our ministers from there, Our governors must come from heaven. We are not just going to bring judges from heaven. Does it make sense? If the Lord is going to give us judges from heaven, let him also give us legislators from there. Let him give us ministers from there. Even though we have a minister from heaven here, my own dear brother Wike, clap for him. The judiciary is founded on the premise that the cases over which judges will be called upon to adjudicate will be limited. If that limit is exceeded, the judges cannot cope. However competent or efficient or determined they may be, the nation must control itself. We must do something to limit crime. There is little that the judiciary can do to help the nation if the government does not strive to create equal opportunities for all. There is little that the judiciary can do to help the nation if the government itself is perceived as corrupt. What can the judiciary do if merit does not count? If the government is founded on patronage, what can the judiciary do if all the parties go into the elections determined to manipulate it? My brother Fagbemi, I'm not talking about your government. I was in government in 1999. And I can tell you that this is how the nation has been. By the time you came into power, the situation had become utterly complicated. The nation moved from one extreme of dictatorship in 1999 to the other extreme of liberalism, where we think that politics is a game without rules. We think that good and evil are equal. The boundaries of the states are rigid. You cannot work in a state unless you come from there. And that is the greatest problem of this nation, the fact that labor is not mobile. What can the judiciary do? I wish you judges had the power to legislate and remove boundaries. So that if I want to go and work in Zamfara, I can go there. As long as the boundaries of the states are rigid, your work will be excessive. You can't cope. This problem started in 1967 or 68 with the creation of states. We went from 4 regions to 36 states, and each time we multiplied the manpower needs of the nation, we met the needs that arose by appointing unqualified people. And that's how the nation fell. And you blame that on the judges? It is not correct. You judges are in no position. Have I done my 20 minutes? No, if I have, tell me. Have I? Yes, 3 more minutes. Now, in those 3 minutes, let me say this. The Cilicians, they lived in the mountains. There was nothing wrong with living in the mountains, but that's where they lived. The Romans were their enemies. The Romans were uneducated people. They could read and write. They wrote their own history. But the Cilicians never wrote their history. So the Romans, who were enemies of the Cilicians, wrote the history of the Cilicians and described them as barbarians, whereas they were not. And the Cilicians have gone down in history as barbarians. You judges, you are not writing your history. Your enemies are writing your history and giving you bad names, and unless you're very careful, you will go down in history with those bad names. So my appeal to you, the CJN, fortunately you are here, begin to write your history. They have called you bad names enough. Unfortunately, you can't speak. So let the National Judicial Council become a body for speaking for the judges. You will remember this. Don't be like the Cilicians. Don't let your enemies write your history. Write it yourself. I have put a little here about the times in which you live. Let me just take 2 minutes and say a word about that. The times in which you live, so that you don't go on blaming yourself and blaming everything on yourself. Bear in mind that you live and work in an age when corruption has permeated every department of the nation. Dictatorship would never have taken root in our country if corruption had not first permeated every department of it. That corruption can by no means be blamed on the judges, even though an insignificant number of judges have left themselves to be implicated in it. You live and work as judges at a time when nothing is predictable, a time when patriotism is at a low ebb, and the nation is stigmatized and as an artificial creation. We have a total misconception of democracy as the right to do as we please, without regard for the rights of others. Politics is perceived as a game of deception. The end justifies the means. We proceed on the false assumption that politics without force or without fraud cannot produce results. We aim at being strong in numbers without being strong in spirit and in truth. What can judges do in such a situation? We strive to fight falsehood with falsehood, with the result that in the end, it is falsehood that is triumphing. Life is no longer sacred. We have reached that point at which Babylon was when bricks were worth more than life. It is reported that it took 1 year to carry bricks from the bottom of the tower to the top, the Tower of Babel. And when those bricks fell, the Babylonians wept. But when the builders fell and died, it meant nothing. That's where we are in this country, where power and wealth is everything and life is nothing. You blame that on the judges? No. You live and work in an age when the other arms of government do not respect the limits set to their authority. Fagbemi, I'm not talking about your government. I'm talking about what has been happening from the time when I was Attorney General. I can tell you that. So when I say these things, please, the nation is divided. Nothing has aided and facilitated the downfall of the nation more than our disunity. God has called us to be one, to live in peace and harmony, yet we are divided, state from state, tribe from tribe, faith from faith, the rich from the poor. What can the judiciary do to help a divided nation? I have already made the point, but it bears repetition. It ought not to be the case that indigents of one state, however competent or patriotic, cannot find employment in the public services of other states. My father is dead. May his soul rest in peace. I thank God that he gave me the name that he gave me. I have an Igbo name, Kanu, and I'm very proud of it. I'm not an Igbo person, but I have that name, Kanu. But if I were to go to Igbo land now to seek employment, they will say you are not an Igbo man. Whereas I'm an Igbo man by name. So we must unite the nation. let me leave it at that and thank you. I am happy that the Minister of the FCT is here, my own dear brother. Nobody loves me more than he has loved me, and he has demonstrated it practically. Brother Wiki, you are the minister of this FCT, and this FCT is the symbol of our unity. And I am happy that a decisive, forthright, courageous, and determined man like you is minister of this FCT to come up with policies and programs that will bind the nation together. I have always said, and it is true, that the essence of the presidential system, investing all power in one person, is to ensure that that power so vested will be used to bind the nation together. So, Brother Fagbemi, Minister Wike, the Lord bless you. The Lord has blessed you already, but he will bless you 1,000 times even more as you engage in policies and programs that give the nation hope. And you, judges, I pray the same prayer for you. The Lord has blessed you. There can be no greater blessing than to be president of the Court of Appeal, or a justice of the Court of Appeal. It is the Lord that you serve. And we are told, St. Paul said, whether you are a servant or a slave, it is the Lord that you serve. The Lord will pay. If he does not pay you in gold, he will pay you in silver. And if he doesn't pay you in silver, he will pay you in diamond. To be a justice of the Court of Appeal is to be paid in gold, in silver, and in diamond all at once. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Kanu Agbabi, as a former Honorable Attorney General of the Federation. My Lords, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we also have in our midst a gentleman who was earlier recognized. I think for effect, let me recognize him again. The chairman of the ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN. You're welcome, sir. We also have the Director General, Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit, the FIU, Haji Hafsat Bakari. You're welcome. The Vice Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Judiciary, Honorable Hassan Mohammed Danjuma, has also joined us. You're welcome, Honorable Bimba. And finally, may I recognize in our presence today Professor Kekong Bisong, who is a consultant to the 2024 conference. You are welcome, Prof. My Lord, may I at this juncture invite the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Latif Fagbemi SAN, to kickstart the series of our goodwill messages. Honorable AG, sir.
My Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori, Kekere from GCON, I crave your indulgence to adopt the well-established protocol, and I want to say that I feel particularly honored to be here. This is a well-organized event. Apart from the Justices of Court of Appeal, your brother justices from the Supreme Court are here. You have been able to garner or to bring the former Chief Justices of Nigeria here. You have also been able to bring here those I regard as critical stakeholders, even though my view has always been that when it comes to administration of justice, everybody is a stakeholder. I want to say that the theme of this conference, quote, judicial introspection, is particularly instructive and indicates the intention of the organizers to use the conference as a barometer to gauge the accomplishments of the Court of Appeal and also provide a compass to guide optimal performance in the future. In this regard, there is no doubt that our learned justices stand to benefit greatly from this exercise, as well as the expertise and experience of the invited resource persons. As we gather for this very important event in the calendar of the Court of Appeal, permit me to take a moment to reflect on the critical role of the judicial independence in upholding the rule of law, democratic governance, and ensuring justice for all in a just society. A truly independent judiciary, free from undue influence or pressure, is the cornerstone of a democratic nation. My very noble Lord, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and their colleagues too, I wish to remark that the Nigerian judiciary has a long and proud history of dispensing justice without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. It is not in doubt that the Court of Appeal in particular has to a very great extent demonstrated its unwavering commitment in upholding the principles of justice, equity, and fairness. Your judgments have set precedents, shaped the legal discourse, shaped the course of several aspects of our national life, and your commitment to upholding the constitutional and established principles of law and natural justice has provided a beacon of hope for countless individuals and entities seeking justice, never mind what is going on in social media. It is tried that each of the independent three arms of government exercise separate powers, but the emphasis has always been on judicial independence, which is a major cornerstone or bedrock upon which the rule of law of our democracy rests. My lords, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we must acknowledge, and I do, that challenges to judicial independence persist. These challenges can come from various or multifaceted sources, including but not limited to political interference, public opinion especially perpetrated on social media, and even well-intentioned efforts to improve the justice system. It is, however, imperative that we remain vigilant and steadfast in our defense of judicial independence. On my part, as the Chief Law Officer, I pledge to uphold the principles of judicial independence, and I will work tirelessly to ensure that the judiciary has adequate resources and support it needs to carry out its very vital functions. It does not in any way compromise judicial independence, as the executive branch remains a developmental and statutory partner in the administration of justice. I will also strive to promote public understanding of the importance of judicial independence and to foster a culture of respect for the rule of law. For those who are disparaging the judiciary, I can assure you, and I seize this opportunity to make this pledge, that they will be brought to justice, or like the Americans will say, we take justice to them. As we reflect further on the outgoing year, it is imperative to acknowledge the significant strides made in promoting judicial inclusion. A truly just society is one where every individual, regardless of their background, has equal access to justice. This is a fundamental right enshrined in our Constitution. The Nigerian judiciary, as the guardian of justice and protector of our rights, must reflect the diversity of the nation it serves. Aside meritorious judicial appointments, judicial inclusion can also be achieved by enhancing accessibility to justice and fostering public trust and confidence. I'd like to utilize this unique opportunity to applaud the commendable steps taken towards ensuring more inclusive and equitable justice system through promoting diversity on the bench, the appointment of more women and individuals from diverse backgrounds to the bench has enriched the court's decision-making process and enhanced its legitimacy. The foregoing is exemplified by the record 22 justices of Court of Appeal representing diverse backgrounds and legal expertise who are sworn in in July 2024. I congratulate the newly elected justices, and I am confident that they are already contributing immensely to the dispensation of justice. Let me conclude by commending the President, Honorable Justice Dogma Mensah, the President of Court of Appeal, very distinguished justices, and the support staff of the Court of Appeal for their dedication to the cause of justice. Your invaluable hard work and sacrifices have made significant contributions to the development of our legal system. As we look to the future, let us renew our commitment to judicial independence and work together to build a Nigeria where the rule of law prevails and everyone has unfettered access to justice. May the forthcoming 2025 usher in greater success, prosperity, and unwavering pursuit in the quest for justice. I'm much obliged for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, the Honorable the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, for your goodwill message. May I quickly recognize the presence of a very critical stakeholder and, in fact, a very good friend of the court, Mrs. May Agbamuche Mbu, the INEC National Commissioner and Chair Legal Services of the INEC. You're welcome, ma'am. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Ezom Nyesom Wike, will deliver the next goodwill message.
My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call the best international practice in protocol. When you recognize the highest person, then you now say, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly an honor to stand before this distinguished gathering of legal luminaries at the opening ceremony of the Court of Appeal Justice's annual end-of-year conference. What a year of challenges, what a year of accomplishments, and the liberation of future steps it has been for my lords, particularly the Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Monica Dongba Mensah, Commander of the Federal Republic. Our beloved country, through its ongoing trials of transition to a greater renewed hope, has seen the judiciary play a pivotal role in maintaining the rule of law, ensuring justice, and upholding the democratic values that underpin our society. This annual conference is not only a tradition, but an unsung testament to the commitment of the judiciary to continual improvement and professional excellence. It provides an invaluable platform for dialogue, learning, and the exchange of ideas that contribute to the effective administration of justice. As we gather today, we celebrate our achievements, recognize your sacrifices, and recommit yourselves to supporting your efforts in the pursuit of justice. The past year has been one of significant challenges and triumphs for the judiciary. Despite the increasing complexity of cases, the rising caseload, and the pressure to deliver justice swiftly, you have continued to discharge your duties with integrity, impartiality, and professionalism. For this, I commend you. However, we must also acknowledge that the judiciary cannot work in isolation. The effective administration of justice requires the collaboration and support of all stakeholders, including the executive and legislative arms of government, the legal profession, and civil society. As the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, I reaffirm our commitment to fostering such collaboration and providing the necessary support to ensure that the judiciary functions effectively. I assure your lordships that the FCT administration is dedicated to creating an enabling environment for justice not only to be done, but to be seen to be done. We are open to working closely with the judiciary to identify areas where improvements are necessary and to implement solutions that will enhance the delivery of justice. This includes upgrading court facilities, providing modern equipment, and ensuring that the welfare of judicial officers and court staff is prioritized. In a rapidly changing world, I urge our Lordship to continue exploring innovative approaches to justice delivery. Let this conference serve as a platform to discuss not only the challenges you face, but also the opportunities to harness technology and other tools for the benefit of our judicial system and the public. Your Lordships, I implore you all to take this moment to recharge and prepare for the challenges of the coming year. The road ahead may not be without obstacles, but with unity, determination, and a shared commitment to justice, I'm confident that we will overcome them together. In closing, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the President of the Court of Appeal and your Lordships for your service to the nation. On behalf of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, I wish you fruitful deliberations during this conference and a successful conclusion to your year. May the outcomes of your discussions strengthen the judiciary and advance the cause of justice in our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for your goodwill message. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters is Distinguished Senator Adogumire Adeniyi Oyefele, SAN. You're welcome, sir.
Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere JUDICIAL, all other protocols observed. It is an honor to stand before you today as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, and as a stakeholder with over 3 decades of experience in private practice. I'm grateful for the opportunity to address you at this annual conference with the theme, Judicial Introspection. Judicial introspection is a process of self-examination and reflection by judges and judiciary on their own practices, decisions, and the overall functioning of the judicial system. It involves a critical evaluation of how the judiciary is performing, identifying areas for improvement, and considering ways to enhance the fairness, efficiency, and effectiveness of judicial process. Judicial introspection is particularly significant as it encourages us to examine our roles, responsibilities, and impact of our decisions. It reminds us that our work is not only about applying the law, but also about upholding the principle of justice, fairness, and integrity. I encourage each of your lordships to engage in thoughtful discussions, share insights, and consider how you all can collectively enhance the effectiveness and fairness of our judicial process. We must endeavor not to be partial and biased in the judicial system, access to justice, efficiency, and timeless judicial ethics and accountability, technological and social changes, and other issues. Judicial introspection is an ongoing process that helps to maintain the integrity and credibility of the judiciary, ensuring that it remains a vital and effective institution for the upholding of the rule of law and delivering justice. Let us explore ways to ensure that our decisions are not only legally sound, but also ethically grounded, and that they serve the best interest of the communities we represent. As a member of the legal profession, I believe that it is our duty to strive for excellence in all that we do. We must continually seek to improve our skills, knowledge, and understanding of the law. We must also be mindful of the impact that our decisions have on the lives of the citizens. I commend the Court of Appeal for its commitment to judicial introspection. It is through such efforts that we can ensure that our decisions are not only fair, but impartial, and also maintain integrity and independence of the judiciary. Judges are next to God in that they are the only ones that have the legal instrument to pronounce life and death. And that duty and power must be approached with all sense of responsibility and integrity. I therefore say that as we move on forward, let us continue to embrace the principle of judicial introspection. Let us strive to be better, to do better and to serve our communities with distinction. I wish you all, your lords, a productive and fruitful deliberations. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, distinguished Senator Leonard Silk. The next is the Chairman of the House Committee on Judiciary, Honorable Mahmoud Abdullahi, who is represented by his able deputy, Honorable Mahmoud. Thank you, sir.
My Lord, Chief Justice of Nigeria, the President Court of Appeal, and other justices, all protocol as established are observed. The Honorable Speaker has formally instructed the Committee Chairman on Judiciary to appear before this gathering to represent him. And at the same time, he was given another assignment, so he eventually transferred that power to me to represent him at this very important occasion. So I'm representing the Speaker, the Chairman, Committee on Judiciary, and in fact, the entire House of Reps. So the Speaker, the Committee Chairman, including myself, we give you warm greetings and we are glad to be part of this great occasion. We are here today for the annual or end of the year annual conference usually organized by the Federal Court of Appeal. And this is a platform in which every judicial officer should show commitment to self-reflection, self-examination, growth, and pursuit of excellence in the dispensation of justice. The House of Representatives is a great stakeholder, and we therefore appreciate and recognize the essential role the Federal Court of Appeal plays in shaping the legal landscape of our nation. Your Lordship's dedication to upholding the rules of law, protecting the rights of citizens, and promoting justice and fairness is highly commendable. However, there is no way an institution like this can operate in these horrible circumstances without challenges. It is possible at times you face what we call administrative challenges, financial challenges, as well as your involvement in adjudication over complex legal issues. Despite the shortcomings and the problems and challenges, we always see what you do, and you demonstrate sacrifice and commitment in the administration of justice. Therefore, my chairman said I should mention this to you. Very soon, we will begin budget process. Please and please, look at the sensitivity and the importance of this institution to the survival of the nation. Package and put together all your financial needs, articulate them, and make sure that what you have incited in your budgetary allocation is not only sufficient, but must be adequate. If you have said what you want and you indicated it in black and white in your budgetary allocation, the House Committee on Judiciary is solidly behind you, and we are ready at any time to ensure that what you have submitted to us has been approved. If we discover that what you have submitted is inadequate, we are ready at any time to make sure that we have jacked it up, we have increased it for you. So this is the most important message the House of Representatives said I should mention at this occasion. So finally, I wish all of us a fruitful deliberation for this year's annual conference by the Federal Court of Appeal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mohammed Danjuma, for this very good goodwill message. By the way, Honorable Hassan Mohammed is a retired director of legal drafting of the National Assembly, in case it may interest my Lord. Let me apologize most profoundly to A.B. Mahmoud SN, who is one of us by association. You know, we just kicked him, maybe because he's part of the family. You're welcome, Lady Silk. He's a former president of Nigeria Bar Association. Chief Adebu Aomolo SN is the chairman of the body of benchers. Please, can we have the privilege of having you here, sir? Thank you.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori, Olatokunbo, Kekereekun. I rest on the protocols as established by the President of the Court of Appeal. Permit me to read my message. I bring to my Lord the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Burman-Dongban Mensin, CFR, JP, the goodwill and best wishes of the body of benchers. It is the hope of the chairman and entire members of the body that this conference will ignite a renewal of wisdom from God, strength and fulfillment to each and every justice of the court and the supporting administrative staff. This court, as the first level of appeal from decisions of high courts of all the states of the Federation, offers a great hope for the majority of Nigerians who are aggrieved by the decisions of the high courts throughout the Federation. This court and the Supreme Court have contributed in every large measure to ensure that Nigeria as a nation enjoys constitutional stability, peace, prosperity, and progress as a country under God since 1999, when democracy fully returned. The theme of this year's conference, Judicial Introspection, has come at the most appropriate time. It is meet and proper for every institution to retreat and do introspection. The society is dynamic. Parliament is dynamic in promulgating laws. Judges are expected to cope with growing trends in technology, advancements in human global behavior. let me remind everyone the admonition of my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori Olatokunbo Kekere Ekun GCON, the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, during the opening of the 2024-2025 legal year of the Supreme Court, that the judiciary under her leadership will remain the hope of advancement of constitutional democracy, which this country has practiced for 25 years uninterrupted, and shall continue to be an institution that will not fail or falter in its constitutional responsibility. The President of the Court, in her address this morning, made some commitment to excellence and productivity by this court. Every member of the judiciary of this court should benefit from the institutional introspection that begins this week. It is the belief of the body of benchers that the effect of the introspection will help everyone to freely and sincerely identify areas of improvement, patterns to be rebuilt, and areas that need changes. It will assist to increase empathy, institutional regulation, and skills. It will afford a review of areas where so much stress has been brought on justices in all the divisions throughout Nigeria, individually and collectively as a court. My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, my lords, we need not be unduly perturbed by the unjustified, unverified, and contentious data of corruption issued on the Nigerian judiciary by the National Bureau of Statistics. It is unworthy of our attention. They are writing our history just like Khan Magabi said. We will not allow them to write our history for us. I can attest to the fact that in Nigerian judiciary are some of the finest characters and our best legal minds on whom no price tag can be attached. Our judges and justices are the greatest assets of our nation. We must continue to accord them the highest honor, respect, and dignity. The image of the judiciary is too important to a democratic society to allow it to be tarnished in any way by any act of impropriety by any member of the bar or the bench. Now, my Lord, is the time when everyone should be made to account and be responsible for whatever is attributable to him or her. The body of benchers, all judges and justices, to be bold, courageous, and focused. Rising from judicial introspection, there must be a recommitment to the best value of the judiciary as an independent arm of government, where judgments will deliver justice irrespective of whoever is concerned, where no one will be oppressed, and where freedom and liberties of citizens are secured and protected. Your Lordships, we wish you Merry Christmas and a very successful 2024-2025 legal year. Thank you, my lords.
Thank you very much, the chairman of the Board of Benchers. Next in line is the president of the bar. Afam Isen. Please, the president is around. Please, can you come over? Thank you, President.
My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, my Lord, the President of the Court of Appeal, may I adopt the already established protocol. I'm honored to present this address on behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association at this ceremony, or at this Justices Conference with the team Judicial Introspection. Someone once said that sometimes in life, you need to draw back to be able to search forward. And I think that's what this conference has designed to do, for the Justices of the Court of Appeal to draw back so that they will be able to move further. And I'm grateful to have been invited to present this address. In some of my addresses at court sessions, marking opening of legal year ceremonies, I've drawn attention to the negative perception of our courts. It would appear I did not go far as Inspector General of Police, who was reported to have said sometime last week that our criminal justice system in Nigeria is sick and needs a complete overhaul. But I dare say, whatever sickness or weakness that may have been identified, whether in our criminal justice system or indeed our entire justice system, is attributable to both the bar and the bench. We all have in one way or the other contributed to that. And we also have a duty to make for a better perception of the legal profession as well as our justice delivery system. For want of time, I will abridge my address. But I would like to say that the efficacy of exercising constitutional judicial power is firmly anchored on a moral authority that rests on public confidence. According to the past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Dahiru Mustafa, the judiciary commands no armies and collects no taxes as a statutory authority rests squarely in the public's perception of its propriety. To achieve this, the bar and the bench must show mutual respect so that the administration of justice would not be jeopardized. Public confidence in the judge and the judicial system reinforces conviction for the attainment of justice and enhances the willingness of the populace to subjugate before the law. It follows, therefore, that where public confidence in the judicial system is high, the incidence of people taking the law into their own hands will be very low indeed, whereas the reverse will be the case where public confidence is low. Accordingly, the bars are quite aptly asserted that the lack of public confidence in the judiciary is the beginning of the end of society. While we admit that societal perception of the integrity of the judicial system occupies a critical role in the promotion of social order by administering the law in a manner that satisfies the fundamental requirements of justice, this perception, however, gives assurance to the majority of the citizenry who bask in the comfort that no person, institution, or government, no matter how powerful or wealthy, is outside the sphere of the judiciary's legal authority. Thurgood Marshall of the U.S. Supreme Court reminded us that the measure of a country's greatness is its ability to retain compassion in times of crisis. For Nigeria to overcome its challenges, the judiciary must lead with compassion and integrity. We must have an efficient judiciary manned by judges who conduct proceedings with fairness and integrity in all their dealings, both judicially and effectively. Thus, the public's perception of judiciary propriety and the system it represents must be that of respect and admiration. Judges must consistently perform their judicial functions in a manner that would not erode the public's belief that those saddled with the responsibility of addressing wrongs done unto them are beacons of fairness, equity, competence, propriety, and justice. Accordingly, it is very important to ensure that those who abuse the privilege of judicial authority are exposed, punished, and removed. The duty of the bar is no different. The bar is expected to be knowledgeable, fearless, and truthful. Above all, its members are expected to show total respect for the laws of the land and defend the same at any cost. The bar fails in its duties to the society and the cause of justice where it condones, encourages, or fails to take definite actions to eliminate injustice, indiscipline, corruption, and corrupt practices among its members, or condones any form of tyranny from any arm of government. It is therefore hoped that the legal profession will discharge the weighty responsibilities hanging on the shoulders of the bar and the bench with vigor, truth, dignity, and full awareness of the consequences of a failure to act in this regard. The bar must at all times maintain towards the court respectful attitude, not for the sake of the temporary incumbent of the judicial office, but for the maintenance of its supreme importance. Judges, not being wholly free to defend themselves, are peculiarly entitled to receive the support of the bar against unjust criticisms and clamor. Where there is proper ground for a serious complaint against a judicial officer, it is the right and duty of a lawyer to submit his grievances to the appropriate proper authorities. In such cases, but not otherwise, such charges should be encouraged and the person making them should be protected. The integrity of the judge and the judiciary is a sacred public trust that must be protected and upheld by all, especially members of the legal profession. Today, mere suspicions, baseless unconfirmed rumors, together with foul innuendos, find ready spaces in our newspapers, television stations, and social media without proper concern for the far-reaching damage being done not only to the judge in question, but the entire institution of justice. It is rather unfortunate that on some occasions, the press and indeed lawyers have allowed themselves to be used as a willing tool by litigants keen on whipping sentiments towards their cause and disparaging the reputation of judges and the judiciary without exercising due caution. A lawyer who has accepted a matter must conduct the same with seriousness. I will skip this. My lords, permit me to use this medium to condemn the misuse of appellate processes by lawyers. It is becoming increasingly common for lawyers to file appeals merely to meet the number of cases required to meet the application for the rank of senior advocates of Nigeria and continue to waste precious judicial time. It does not matter that many of these appeals have no particular significance to the development of the law, as well as counsel's outstanding contribution to the legal field, both in terms of legal knowledge and advocacy skills. It is more about quantity rather than quality. This practice undermines the very essence of justice and contributes to the large number of appeals being filed in the appellate courts, which in turn clogs the court dockets and ultimately cause delays which lead to public disillusionment with the system. We urge the courts to adopt measures such as awarding costs against persons who file these cases as a way of deterring others from following the path. The NBA will engage with the LPPC to emphasize the need for quality over quantity in evaluating candidates for the rank of senior advocate of Nigeria. We must work together to ensure that the sanctity of the judicial process is upheld and frivolity is discouraged at all levels. I will conclude by saying that the Court of Appeal is a critical institution in our democracy, and its ability to uphold the principles of justice will continually shape the future of our nation. The Nigerian Bar Association remains a steadfast partner in this regard. In this journey, we are committed to supporting the judiciary and implementing reforms, embracing technology, and addressing the challenges that hinder the effective administration of justice. Together, we can build a judiciary that inspires confidence, delivers justice, and stands as a model for all to emulate. May this judicial year bring groundbreaking decisions, enhanced efficiency, and renewed public trust in the judiciary. It is our prayer that Almighty God shall continue to give your lordships good health, sound mind, and wisdom to carry out the onerous responsibility bestowed on you. We shall surely work together to strengthen the pillars of justice upon which our society rests, ensuring that our judicial system remains a true beacon of hope and equity. Thank you for listening, and may God bless all of us.
Thank you very much. Mazi Afamosigwe SN, President of Nigerian Bar Association. Next is the Chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, Olanipeku Olukede Esquire.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, GCON, permit me to please adopt the precedent of the well-established protocol. I feel delighted to be in your midst today. Judicial introspection is a unique gathering that offers us the opportunity to reflect on the administration of criminal justice system in our country. We cannot understate the critical role that judicial officers play in the administration of justice. Your capacity, your patriotism, your commitment to remain a source of encouragement as we strive to erase the blight of financial crimes and corruption from our body politic. The Court of Appeal occupies a very strategic place in the justice administration system in Nigeria, and the landmark judgments that come from the appellate court have strengthened Nigerian jurisprudence. The EFCC and other my sister agencies in the anti-corruption balance will continue to count on the collaboration of judicial officers in the fight against corruption and financial crimes in Nigeria. Apart from being apostles in the temple of justice, my lords, let me remind your lordship that you are also victims of the endemic corruption in Nigeria. You share in the burden of poor infrastructure, poor social services, and insecurity that have been exacerbated by corruption. It is therefore in our collective interest to ensure that Nigeria is free from the fangs and virus of financial crimes. There are no other ways to achieve this than to apply the law without fear or favor. A corruption-free Nigeria is not an utopian idea. With the support and collaboration with stakeholders, such as judiciary, we can achieve this, particularly in the area of depriving those who have been indicted for financial crimes the enjoyment of the process of crime. Access forfeiture is very key to the success of the fight against corruption in Nigeria. On this note, I congratulate your Lordship for all the milestones recorded in the year 2024 and wish you the best, very best in 2025. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Chair of the EFCC. At this juncture, my Lords, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to invite my Lord, the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Dongban Mensen, who will in turn invite my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, to declare this conference open. My Lord, the President.
My Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, I simply to stand on the existing protocol. My Lords, distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, I want to tell you a little story about a lady whom I'm informed used to take her notes in Arabic in the university. How many of us do that? Thank you. Born in London, the United Kingdom, on the 7th day of May, 1958, to late Alhaji Senator Farinso, OFR, LLD, and Mrs. Winifred Loyiwola Ogundimu, Ni Savage, Honorable Justice Kudirat Moto Mori Olatokumbo Kekereku, GCON, is the eldest of 11 siblings. A revered jurist, His Lordship's remarkable career is defined by significant contributions to the development of jurisprudence and the administration of justice. His Lordship's remarkable career started out in private practice in 1985 before his transition to the bench as a magistrate in 1989. On the 19th day of July 1996, he was appointed as a judge of the High Court of the Lagos State. His Lordship was one of the pioneer judges of the High Court of Lagos State to handle financial crimes and money laundering offenses. He also served as chairman, Robbery and Firearms Tribunal from 1996 to 1999. His Lordship was a member of the drafting committee and that amended the High Court of Lagos State Civil Procedure Rules from 2002 to 2004. The rules introduced key innovations in case management and techniques, and the integration of alternative dispute resolution, that's ADR, mechanisms which were widely adopted across the states of the Federation. His Lordship's dedication and hard work earned her the elevation to the Court of Appeal of Nigeria in 2004, where my Lord served in various divisions of the court and held the pioneer position of the presiding justice of the Makurdi Division in 2011. The pinnacle of His Lordship's career came with his elevation to the Supreme Court on the 8th day of July 2013. I think the rest is now history. His Lordship's contribution extended to the service on the Ethics Curriculum Planning Committee of the National Center for State Courts, collaborating with the Department of International Development, that is DFID, and United States Office on Drugs and Crime to develop the Code of Conduct for Judicial Employees. His Lordship's commitment to advancing the role of women in the judiciary is exemplified by the honor of serving as the president of the National Association of Women Judges, position that she still holds. The Honorable Justice Kekere Oku's pioneering efforts also in ADR began with his membership of the steering committee of the Lagos State Multi-Door Courthouse, Africa's first court-connected ADR center. This groundbreaking initiative has overhauled the judicial landscape, providing parties with efficient alternatives to litigation. His Lordship's impressive leadership profile includes chairing the National Judicial Council, that's NJC, Federal Judicial Council, the Federal Judicial Commission, FJSC, the National Judicial Institute. My Lord also serves as chairman of the Board of Governors of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, Legal Practitioners Privileges Council Committee, and is also a live bencher. His Lordship is also a member of the prestigious Ikoyi Club. My Lord has been a driving force in the integration of information technology within the judiciary. He has actively contributed to various training programs focused on utilizing information and communications technology, that's ICT, to improve judicial efficiency and service delivery. During my Lord's sojourn with us in the Court of Appeal, he served as a member of the ICT committee, whose mandate included and still includes facilitating the establishment of e-courts. His Lordship's futuristic approach has had a lasting impact on the adoption of technology in the Nigerian judicial system. His Lordship's impressive career has garnered numerous prestigious awards. My Lord is a recipient of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON, that has preceded the OFR. I mean, GCON takes over everything, I suppose. My Lord is a law alumni member, a distinguished trailblazer award from the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum, the National Association of Women Judges, Nigerian Merit Award, Lagos State Judiciary Merit Award of Excellence. These accolades underscore His Lordship's resolute dedication to the legal profession and the progress of the judiciary. His Lordship's distinguished affiliations also include fellowship at the International Dispute Resolution Institute, the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, and the National Judicial Institute. Beyond the professional accomplishments of my Lord, His Lordship is a devoted wife, a mother, happily married to Mr. Akin Kekereku, OFR, and their union is blessed with children who are graduates excelling in their own chosen fields. His Lordship's personal life exemplifies the successful balance between remarkable legal career and family responsibilities. Additionally, my Lord has attended numerous courses and seminars within and outside Nigeria, demonstrating his commitment to continuous legal profession and growth. You will observe that I did not mention the prestigious schools that my Lord attended. They include the prestigious Lagos University and the London School of Economics. Your Excellencies, my dear learned brothers of the Court of Appeal, our distinguished guests, members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor to present to you a jurist par excellence, a true trailblazer of the judiciary and indeed of Nigeria, the fifth female justice of the Supreme Court, a woman of high repute, a crusader for anti-corruption, an advocate for innovation in the judiciary, and a confident, competent, fearless, tireless champion for strengthening the rule of law and promoting transparency in the judiciary. I present to you, my Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and her sister-in-law said, her brother said she's the most beautiful woman in the world. My Lord.
Thank you, my Lord. Please have your seats, my lords. My lords, the former Chief Justices of Nigeria, my Lord, the President of the Court of Appeal, all other protocols duly observed. Before coming here, my Lord whispered to me, said, oh, I just have a few comments to make before your Lordship comes up. So I was completely taken aback to hear my CV read out. Thank you, my Lord, for the very kind words said of me. My lords, invited guests, it gives me great pleasure to be in your midst at this annual end-of-year conference for Justices of the Court of Appeal. I extend warm greetings to my Lord, the Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Dongba-Mensem, CFR FNJI, and other esteemed Justices of the Court of Appeal. Your collective dedication to justice is a cornerstone of our legal system. This time of year is universally recognized as a season for reflection and renewal. Institutions and individuals alike pause to evaluate past actions, learn from experiences, and plan for future endeavors. It is in this context that I find the theme of this year's conference, Judicial Introspection, particularly compelling. It calls on us to reflect, not only as judicial officers, but also as the unified judiciary navigating the complexities of modern justice delivery. Introspection is often defined as an inward examination of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, derived from the Latin term introspicere, meaning to look within. Introspection invites us to observe the workings of our minds and evaluate their influence on our decisions. A most fascinating illustration of introspection, and one I find particularly worth sharing, comes from the reflections of Sir Matthew Hale, a distinguished former Chief Justice of the King's Bench in the 1600s. In reflecting on how to become a better judge, Sir Hale wrote, and I quote, "That I suffer not myself to be prepossessed with any judgment at all, till the whole business and both parties be heard." He also said, and I quote, "Not to be solicitous what men will say or think, so long as I keep myself exactly according to the rule of justice." These enduring words eloquently encapsulate the bedrock principles of judicial impartiality and integrity. They underscore the imperative of maintaining an open and unbiased mind until all sides are fully heard and remaining steadfast in the pursuit of justice, unswayed by external opinions or pressures. Sir Hale's reflections also highlight the timeless necessity of self-awareness in judicial conduct. They remind us that introspection is not a passive exercise, but an active and ongoing commitment to upholding the highest standards of fairness and integrity, qualities that remain central to the effective discharge of our duties today. In the same vein, Adam Smith, the Scottish philosopher, encapsulated the essence of introspection when he said, "The first thing you have to know is yourself. For a man who knows himself can step outside himself and watch his own reactions like an observer." This profound statement reminds us that self-awareness is not just a personal virtue, it is a professional necessity for those entrusted with the administration of justice. As I do say, we need to be the change that we want to see in the world around us. For judicial officers, introspection serves as a critical tool for enhancing performance, refining judgment, and bolstering public confidence in the judiciary. It demands not only self-evaluation, but also an openness to change and growth, particularly in response to the evolving expectations of society. While introspection is often individual, the judiciary as an institution must also engage in collective reflection. This is vital because the judiciary, though made up of distinct judicial officers, is perceived as a single entity. Public confidence in our system relies not only on our individual integrity, but on the collective strength of our institution. This conference represents an opportunity for collective introspection. Through discussions, shared experiences, and learning, we can identify areas for improvement and strategize on how to overcome challenges that affect justice delivery. Judicial education plays a key role in this process. Increasingly, judicial training programs are incorporating social context awareness initiatives that emphasize understanding the diverse backgrounds, cultural, economic, and otherwise, of those who come before our courts. These programs ensure that we deliver justice not only impartially, but also equitably. In addition, as the legal landscape evolves with the advent of digital technology and emerging fields of law, judicial education must include digital literacy and awareness of modern technologies. This will enable us to handle cases involving novel issues such as cybercrime and digital evidence with the competence they demand. At the appellate level, the collaborative nature of decision-making presents unique opportunities for introspection, particularly in view of the particular status of hearing of matters by multi-judge panels. Multi-judge panels encourage robust deliberation, ensuring that judgments are comprehensive and well-reasoned. At this level, where appeals are heard and reserved for judgment, the holding of conferences to collectively deliberate on issues and matters that come before the court cannot be overstated. Conferencing is an essential tool that promotes mutual respect, deepens understanding, and enhances the quality of our decisions. However, introspection also requires us to examine how our collective processes can be improved. Are our judgments addressing the root issues brought before us? Are we sufficiently attuned to the broader societal implications of our decisions? These are the questions that judicial introspection seeks to answer. My lords, while we celebrate our achievements, we must remain conscious of the challenges facing the judiciary, case backlogs, funding constraints, and I'm happy with the promise and encouragement we have received from the House Committee on the judiciary, and public perception of judicial inefficiency are significant concerns. However, I believe that through introspection, we can develop innovative strategies to tackle these issues internally. For instance, by leveraging technology to streamline case management or enhancing the use of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, we can improve efficiency and accessibility. Additionally, introspection compels us to reaffirm our commitment to ethics and accountability, ensuring that our actions remain above reproach. Now, the issue of conflicting decisions is one of great concern in our community at present time. And one of the reasons that we have conflicting decisions is because many panels do not hold conferences to discuss all reserved judgments. It is strongly recommended that conferences be held. I cannot overemphasize this point. We are an appellate court for a reason, and the reason is that several heads are better than one. So holding conferences, exchanging opinions and ideas on matters that come before us is extremely essential. We have presiding justices here, and if it has not been your practice, I want to appeal to you that you start making it a practice. It is a very, very essential tool in the work that we do. And in conferences, no matter your level in the court, you have an opinion, you have experience, you have knowledge from whichever court you came from to get to the appellate court. And therefore, your voice should be heard. It is also important that these conferences are held in good time so that where there are conflicting opinions, they can be discussed before judgments are given. It is also important to thoroughly examine judgments of the trial courts, the reasonings for those judgments when they get to the Court of Appeal. We have recent decision or a case where a wrong interpretation was given to the decision of this court that informed the decision of the trial court. So it's also, some of these things will probably be brought to light in the process of holding conference. So that is my singular message here, that conference is essential. Please adopt it if you have not been doing so. There is a growing negative perception of the judiciary. We must all individually and collectively work towards changing this negative perception. And I must say that the last meeting of the NJC, we did state when the press relief was made that while the court will look at the council will look into genuine complaints, we will also stand to support our judges and justices where frivolous complaints are made, and we are looking at ways to work on that to make sure that where frivolous allegations are made, that there are consequences. My lords, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, as we engage in this important exercise of introspection, let us remember that the judiciary holds a sacred responsibility to uphold the rule of law. This responsibility requires us to constantly strive for excellence, fairness, and integrity. I wish to commend the Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Dongba-Mensing, CFR FNGI, for her exemplary leadership and the thoughtfulness evident in organizing this conference. Your efforts inspire us all. I must also seize this opportunity to warmly appreciate and laud all the justices of the Court of Appeal for the extremely hard work that you have put in this year and for your continued commitment to the advancement of justice and the rule of law. I, however, urge your lordships not to relent or rest on your oars, as there is still much to be done. I also take this moment to appreciate the contribution of the court staff, whose tireless efforts behind the scenes are indispensable to the administration of justice. Together, there is no doubt that we can achieve great things. Finally, as we prepare to close the chapter of this calendar year and begin another, I urge us all to remain united in purpose and steadfast in our commitment to upholding the ideals of justice. My lords, invited guests, it is now my singular honor to declare open the Court of Appeal Justices End of Year Conference 2024. I thank you for your attention. I wish you fruitful and rewarding deliberations. I also wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. Thank you.
Thank you, my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, for declaring the 2024 edition of the Annual Justices Conference open. And to even thank my Lord more, and indeed all the dignitaries at today's event, is my Lord Honorable Justice Jimmy Obada, the Honorable the Presiding Justice of the Lagos Division of the Court of Appeal, who shall now come forward to do the vote of thanks. Thank you.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, all other protocols duly observed. On behalf of the President of the Court of Appeal and Justices of Court of Appeal, I thank all our invited guests, especially the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, for finding time to come and declare this conference open. I also thank the former Chief Justices for finding time to come with us today. And also our Honorable Attorney General, I thank you. Then our landlord, Honorable Minister of FCT, we thank you for coming. We thank all of you for honoring our invitation. We hope that when we invite you next year, you will find time to come. I pray that God will grant all of us here long life in good health, so that we shall see ourselves again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my Lord, the Honorable the PJ, Lagos Division of the Court of Appeal. Now, before the national anthem, may I, with the kind permission of my Lord the Chief Justice, make the following announcement. Immediately after the National Assembly and upon departing from this hall, we shall have a group photograph just at the foyer of the court outside here. We shall then proceed to a tea break. The tea break shall last for all of 20 or 30 minutes, and by 12:20 we shall reconverge in this hall, and if in case my lords and other dignitaries are interested, we shall have the first paper presentation in the first session, which will be presented by my Lord Honorable Justice Wani Abba Aji, CFR JSC, and a very important topic to be handled by my Lord at 12:30. And the second paper will be presented by Mrs. Nana Fatima Mende at 1:50. So, my Lord, we come back at 12:30, as earlier said. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, Excellencies, for coming. The national anthem, please. Sorry, please. Sorry, my Lord. Okay, sorry, my lords. Okay, I understand that what was not captured in the program, but was lined up for presentation all the same, is the official declaration of the batch of the Court of Appeal by my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
My Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, all other protocols duly observed. This is the Court of Appeal badge, which, with the kind permission of the Honorable President, we want you to officially launch and decorate our President.
My lords, distinguished participants, it is my honor and privilege to launch the official pin of the Court of Appeal of Nigeria and to decorate the President of the Court of Appeal with it.
And in the same stil, we call on the Honorable the President of the Court of Appeal to decorate the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
You turn it. Being the launcher, I now know the mechanism.
Thank you. So, my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, as an alumni of the Court of Appeal, so that you don't forget us, I have the honor of decorating you. With your permission, may I?
Yes, please. This way.
To be an expert, this is my product. I'm having difficulty with it.
Push it straight first before you turn it. Push it straight, as if from front to back.
Yes, put it back here.
That's it.
It hasn't entered.
You are doing it the other way. No, she's doing it the other way.
Which way? This way?
No.
The thing is under.
Sorry, my Lord.
It's all right. That's it.
We now call on the Chief Registrar to decorate His Excellency. We decorate all the people on the high table. We present, come and present to them. And we'll start with the former Chief Justices of Nigeria. Who are all alumni of this court. Without Court of Appeal, there will be no Supreme Court. Without Supreme Court, there will be no Chief Justice of Nigeria. So, my Lord, just present to them. Then you present to our guest speaker, Mr. Kano Gabi. Then you come and present to our landlord, His Excellency. Okay, I present it to the Attorney General of the Federation and then the landlord of the please, he will unofficially go around and give to our guests.
Thank you very much, my Lord, the presiding Justice, Court of Appeal, Calabar Division, and who also doubles as the chair of the organizing committee of the 2024 Annual Justice Conference. Well, my Lord, the Honorable CJN, my noble lords, Excellencies, skilled ladies and gentlemen, shall we please rise for the first stanza of the national anthem? The first stanza, please.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Thank you very much, my Lord.
What am I to you? Tell me, darling.